Good morning. I have been in meditation this morning, and I just wanted to come and explain how I see life. Life as a game. And many people have talked about it this way. Florence Scovel Shinn, who was an author in the 20s, she was born in the 1800s. She described life as a game, and a lot of other ancient religions also explain it that way. And so when I say life as a game, this is what I kind of see, like the movie The Truman Show. So down here at the matrix level, we have kind of level one. These are people that don't know about the game. They're not even aware. They're just going to work, watching TV, eating fast food, consuming goods, media, and distracted. So this is the matrix. Then something happens in life, some sort of a wake up, an experience, a lie exposed. And this is the level where we start to experience our dark night of the soul, where we have to unlearn, relearn what we were taught. We have to look at our traumas and programming. We might start waking up to energy and all that we are, energy. We are moving from this polarity of left, right, black, white, toward a different view. We're starting to look over here, and this looks over here. And we're becoming open to new ideas. And we're thinking outside of the box. This means we're no longer just going to buy into the society programming. We're done. We're going to always research. But this can be a slippery slope, because this is just another level of awakening. And a lot of people think that this is the awakening. Ooh, I'm learning all these new things, and I really know what's going on. Ooh, yeah, I was here. But then what happens is, once you start to unlearn and relearn, you start to ascend another level. And in this level, you're starting to see your manifestations happen. You're starting to feel more love for others and yourself. You are starting to come to the center point. You're no longer just playing on the extremes. You've moved in toward your center down here, and now you're moving in again. And this is typically a very neutral, I don't know. You're not really identifying in victim mode in your avatar, meaning you're not just leading with what you do. You feel like you're more than just your body. You're feeling like your body and your spirit. And it's a loving, joyful place. Joy, boundaries, peace. Then, when you get to this place, you think, oh, I've become enlightened, and I've made it to the top, but you're still working in the matrix job. You're still kind of tapping into, this kind of area of taking sides, but you're more centered, but it's less, okay? And then what happens is then you end up going out to this new level. And I feel like this is the level that the Truman Show, when Truman was totally oblivious to being on the TV show. And then up here is kind of where that light falls, and he starts to see patterns, and he starts to wake up to the matrix. And then this, I feel like, is when he gets on the boat and he goes into the wall and he realizes, oh my gosh, I'm in a container, and he finds this stairway and he exits the door. This puts us into this observer state. And so once we are the observer, what we do is we're like the people that were watching the Truman Show, that were aware that all of this was happening, but we're not really doing a whole lot about it. We're just like, that's nice. You guys have fun down there. I'm just gonna stay up here in my bliss. And there's alignment. But you think this is the top. But what you realize is there's another level to the game that, boop, you end up popping out in, and this is the creator. Sorry for my scribbles, but creator. And when you get bumped out into creator mode, this is your wake up, that it's time to go back. This is like starting a different level. This is getting out of your your old identity and coming back down here to then help the collective with their process. So at that point, when you become a conscious creator and you're making content to help the collective, all these different phases, then we start the game all over again. But we start it with knowing, and I like to compare it to a puzzle. You're doing a puzzle, and when you got to the end of your puzzle and it was a completed picture, you had the opportunity to glue it together and hang it on the wall and let that be your status quo. Okay, this is that observer. Okay, this is observing the puzzle. But then I got another hit where you have to kind of like wreck that whole puzzle apart, scoop it up into the box, and now you're doing that puzzle, but you're putting it together knowing that it's possible. So you're operating in these different areas with new awareness. The other analogy I like to use is the mattress that comes in the box. You know, the foamy mattress that comes in the box, that once it expands out of the box, it's never going to go back in. It's never going to fit. So I don't know where you're at in your process, but if you're in any of these, congratulations. You are remembering your mission, and I am so proud of you. If you have any questions, follow along. I'm going to do my best to help raise everyone up to where they're supposed to be. I love you.